Good evening. Tonight I want to talk about the debate we've been having in Washington over the national debt, a debate that directly affects the lives of all Americans. For the last decade, we've spent more money than we take in. In the year 2000, the government had a budget surplus, but instead of using it to pay off our debt, the money was spent on trillions of dollars in new tax cuts, while 2 wars and an expensive prescription drug program were simply added to our nation's credit card. As a result, the deficit was on track to top $1 trillion the year I took office. To make matters worse, the recession meant that there was less money coming in, and it required us to spend even more on tax cuts for middle-class families to spur the economy, on unemployment insurance, on aid to states so we could prevent more teachers and firefighters and police officers from being laid off. These emergency steps also added to the deficit. Most Americans, regardless of political party, don't understand how we can ask a senior citizen to pay more for her Medicare before we ask a corporate jet owner or the oil companies to give up tax breaks that other companies don't get. How can we ask a student?
Hello everybody, I'm Carl Fisk from Exist Kind, and I just got done watching President Obama's speech on 7/25/2011. And it was about the debt ceiling and the problems we're having with that. And he went on to tell, well, how he feels about the situation. And then he invited you to contact your elected official in Washington about such issues. And then he went on and asked you to request for a balanced approach to this problem. Well, I decided to take him up on that, and I also decided to help you as well. So in going online over, the past few years and doing things like this, I have found that it can be difficult. Or sometimes it can be easy, depending on where you go. So I decided to make a little package for you, to make it as easy for you as I know how. So let's go take a look. So the first thing you do is go to www.whitehouse.gov, as you see on your screen, and check out Obama's latest speech, which is called A Balanced Approach. And be sure and refresh yourself on that and click through it. Or watch the whole thing.
Good evening. Tonight I want to talk about the debate we've been having in Washington over the national debt, a debate that directly affects the lives of all Americans. For the last decade, we've spent more money, but because we can still come together as one nation. Thank you. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
Now, once you've reviewed his speech, you can also look at the key points right on the same website. You can go over his speech and look at the key points that are there. And you can also look over his speech in its entirety and highlight and study the parts that are most important to you. From there, you should go to whoismyrepresentative.com and enter your zip code and submit it. It will give you a list of your elected officials in Washington, both from the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, it's a good idea to narrow this down a little bit by entering your 9-digit zip code. You get your 9-digit zip code by going to USPS.com and entering your address, your street address. You enter that street address, and it will give you your 9-digit zip code if you don't have it handy. It's a very great tool for this sort of thing. So then you copy it, and you go back to the website, Who is My Representative, and you submit your 9-digit zip code. And then from there, you can actually get a more fine-tuned version of who your elected officials in Washington are, which seems very important to them. Then you go to USA.gov once you know who they are. And from there, you can go to the forms that you fill out in order to email them. So you go to the state, for example, of one of your House of Representatives members. You click on which member there you go, on your member, and it shows you their content, their site for all the information about them associated with that website. And you hit contact, and there is an email me section on there. You go there and you follow the links on through. It won't be long before you find that you are at a form where you can fill out your information. It's very important to them to know, all about you, what your address is, so that they can understand that they're representing you and that you're not from, Canada, which I think should be less of an issue, but still, you fill it out. Give them all the information they want, talk about what the issue's about, all that stuff, and then you type in your letter to them. It's all made very easy for you, so all you have to do in the end is submit it, and it goes to them. Also, you have your contact information so that they can contact you back on this issue. And you just go on down the line doing that. So once you're done with that person, you'll want to go along and, also you can go to whoismyrepresentative.com again and quickly get their phone number. It's a great place to get their phone number, though you can get it at usa.gov. And once you've done that, so you can call them, then you can keep on going and go on down the line at usa.gov and, go to the next individual. Like you might go to your senator after that and let them know. And you start, I would suggest, by filling out the form letter. Just follow the links through. It's pretty, self-explanatory. First you find out where they are by choosing your state. You remember, oh, there is my representative. You click on it, and it takes you once again, like before, to their page. It's all about them. It'll have their contact information, everything you need to know, and then you fill out the form again for the next person. And it won't be long before you're at their special page to tell them who you are and your street address and everything about you, so that they know who they're dealing with when it comes to these letters. And of course this information is important because it bears weight. They know that you're going to vote. After that, you can go to the same page back again, and you can actually go to YouTube. You can click a YouTube site, you can check them out on YouTube, you can look at their video clips,
but it's not always
you can like the video clips,
lots of paperwork to fill out,
and you can comment on them.
To keep and tests to pass.
So I would suggest going to YouTube, and you'll have to sign in, and you can comment and tell them what you think. Once again, another place that you can go get their attention besides just the form letters. Of course, I would suggest going back again.
Mistake number 2.
After you go to YouTube, to usa.gov, and clicking on the Facebook link. And once again, you have their Facebook. And if you haven't been there before, you have to like them first, and once you click that you like them, a bar shows up that you can communicate with them, and you can type in stuff. And everybody can see it all at once. It's great. It's a great tool to apply pressure on your views besides letters, because that's very public. Other people get to see it as well. Anyway, once you're done with all that, you're finished, and you can go about your merry way, and I sure thank you for doing that in advance. Well, that was it. That was my tour of how you can answer the President's call and contact your elected official in Washington and hopefully tell them that you want a more balanced approach to this debt ceiling problem. I hope that you found this beneficial, and I thank you for being a concerned citizen for the United States and the greater world.